Alright, so I always like to start deck text when things get changed like this with, I am nowhere near confident in this particular build. We're just starting with a mix of cards that looks appealing. So a bunch of cards got buffs in here. Nahiri, Warleader, Champion, Plate Armor, Veteran, A-Kargan Intimidator. So a lot of good changes here. Most notably, Nahiri can grab both equipment and a warrior with her down tick now, giving you a chance to -2 and have it be divination. She also counts your equipments and warriors on her -3 in terms of being removal. So our deck is a mix of both just a kind of go wide aggressive deck that also has things like plate armor and maul. This guy claims to power up individual creatures. We have some Legion Angels here, additional warrior at the top end of our curve. I like the 2-2 split on these. So let's go ahead and pop on into some games with this and see if it has the ability to kind of power through the grindy meat hook decks in the format. Something that is worth noting is that cards like plate armor and maul, the Skyclaves, are good at allowing our creature deck to play around meat hook in a way, especially on things like Dwarfhold Champion. They're going to be 3/3s at their base when they get equipped. So let's go ahead and play some Magic the Gathering, huh? Okay. Hey, I'm glad you had fun, Citrus. Unite is a good time. Oh, speaking of Unite, by the way, we're going to be doing a second day of viewer games this afternoon for Pokemon Unite. So because the new character's out, I want to be able to play Azumarill all afternoon. So we're going to be ambitious and we're going to play viewer 5 stacks this afternoon on my Smurf. So if you're up to the challenge of that, we'll have an open lobby this afternoon at the end of the stream for Unite. Well, I appreciate you sticking around, Manju. Okay. I mean, this is eventually a removal spell, right? I mean, yeah, there's plenty of consideration for lots of things, Alistair. You must have just missed the deck tech where I talked about how this is just where we're starting. Being a lower to the ground build is probably good, although I'm not convinced that Inchworm is playable. Yeah, I think this is probably the best card in this archetype. Although it's about to be super awkward here that they're going to kill this as their only creature, and then we're going to be left with a bunch of equipments. We actually only have 8 dedicated equipments only with plate armor and maul, and honestly, maybe even that's too many. Maybe we just want more reconfigure things so they can be more flexible. Yeah, I think plate armor is very strong. This card is a card that like looked impressive before it got buffed. And obviously it's like strictly better than it was previously now. Big chonk, chat. And Emperor's about to wander over and ruin our day. Right. Well, if we draw a creature, the plate armors are very cheap to equip.
People, nothing matters more.
Just like make a blocker here. We can kill this to make a blocker, I should say. I guess I could plus and like attach the plate armor to it, and then I have a 4/4. And then she's at 5. And then like Triumphant Adventurer can't kill it for free. This is for each other equipment I control? Yeah, so it currently costs 1 to equip. Okay, I think I want to plus this. And actually, I'm going to put them all on it because it gives it first strike. I'm probably just going to have a removal spell and make us sad. Yeah, we're dead. Showdowns to grind with here. Yeah, I mean, like, that's the problem with very synergy heavy decks. Well, so I was talking about the Nahiri, Roth. Adventurer couldn't kill Nahiri, because Nahiri would be at 5 and the Adventurer's only at 4. You're correct that I wouldn't be able to block the Adventurer, but it wouldn't be able to kill my Planeswalker. Then it's like, how interactive do I want to be in these post-board games? How much do I want to give up on my primary game plan to try and be reactive? At least a little bit. Last I checked, Untapped had not updated. I didn't check this morning, actually. Let me check and see if there's an update for Untapped yet. No, it says up to date. So there's an issue. I don't know that Untapped has updated with the latest change of Alchemy cards. It takes them a day sometimes. A day or two. That's what I was trying to articulate. Oh, is it there now? Weird, it must have turned off the Twitch extension. That's literally something I've never had to turn on before. Weird. Let's go ahead and get rid of their thing. Untapped wrote on Twitter this morning that they pushed it up. Okay, maybe it downloaded it automatically then. If it's working, wonderful. I could play and equip this, but like these are trading anyways. I think I just want to like lizard blades plus plate armor. Those cost 3 to equip currently, so I think we're just supposed to Showdown here. This is match 1, game 2, 10 general. We start Magic about 10 a.m. if it's been a little bit since you've been around. Do you do story-driven stuff until about 10 a.m.? Not gonna offer this trade because we want a creature to put counters on next turn. But untapped lands, so we'll be able to cast all 3 of these 2-drops, which is nice. No blocks here. They're gonna name one of the cards in exile here, I assume. Arms Scavenger. Honestly, with them naming Arms Scavenger, I might just skip playing it. Just play out the rest of these and not give them a card. Stalin, thanks for the 17, by the way. So do we deploy another dwarf? Or do we equip and try and smash? So they are only at 16 here. If I put the plate armor on the Skyclave, they'd have to triple block it. I think I want to do this. It probably just gets jumped. Getting the Skyclave Apparition to a 6/6 also means that their adventure removal spell doesn't get rid of it, which is nice. Pay for this and crack us for 8. Seven. Math is hard. Alright, so they're leaving back Silencer. They're gonna jump block with it then? I guess they're concerned that I could equip plate armor and go really ham. So it makes sense to leave a jump blocker back. Well, I guess they're putting a counter here. They're theoretically setting up a double block, but I have the last section of Showdown of the Skalds here too. Attack for 7. I think we're gonna put this other plate armor on the Dwarfhold Champion, so I have a good array of blockers. And normally in a spot like this, you know, something like Meat Hook Massacre would be one of their better catch-up cards, but like we talked about in the deck tech, our creatures are so thick since thanks to the plate armors, that's actually not an out for our opponent here, which feels pretty good. Yeah, a lot of ward for against spot removal as well. So I'm attack with everything. If they want to eat my 2/2 with their 4/3, then they're not trading with my 4/4. And they need to block at least one of the 7/7s here. Well, it's hard to string you up on the meat hook when you're wearing plate armor because the armor's so heavy. It's the thing to be aware of. So from a flavor standpoint, it works itself out. Do I want to be a little bit more reactive on the draw? I think that's probably a possibility. Showdown of the Skalds getting to flex there a little bit. And honestly, one of the things to think about in this deck too, playing a bunch of Nahiris in the main deck might be a little bit of making ourselves victim to our theme a little bit too much. There's a good chance that maybe we're just supposed to be playing 4 Showdowns in the main just because it's the best card advantage these red-white decks can play. Maybe you play like a couple of Nahiris past it, but there's a good chance this is just better than Nahiri even with her upgrade. I'm gonna try my Nahiri actually on the draw. Or maybe it's Arms Scavenger. IDK. I feel like I want at least one more Skyclave though. Think Showdown needs a nerf? I don't think so. Alright, proactive 2-drop's a decent pickup. Skyclave is just such a good magic card, chat. The tempo is so huge. think forcing the Edgar block is good. I don't know. It could go either way. Hey, Max. Thanks for almost a year and a half. Happy Friday. Hope your weekend's off to a good start. What's going on, Super Guest? Enjoy your castle upgrade. Thanks for hanging out for 3 years. Is that one pandemic at this point? Not quite, right? March 2020? So Skyclave can take our Lizard Blades despite the Ward 1. I don't know because it's still March 2028 mood. Okay, I think we Nahiri plus put the plate armor on the token.
I am the last of the I welcome and my will reign supreme.
Dimly remember the before times. Ah, BC. Probably like a 2, maybe a 2.5 Duck Doolittle. Someone else said Croakies was having success by jamming a bunch of Meat Hook Massacres into his elf deck, but I think that's probably more a testament to the fact of how messed up Meat Hook Massacre is than elves being playable. Ooh, a draw to, chat. Fancy. This is a 6/6 with double Ward 1. Hey, Rabner. Closing in on 5 years. Thanks for the prime. Happy Friday. Yeah, plate armor is a legitimately good card, chat. These are warriors as well. We're on the draw, so I could just play out all of these here. I think that's the plan.
The core empire will rise again.
We've not seen Meat Hook, but it's pretty normal for 2 to 4 copies to be in their archetype. My board is well warded, chat. Oh! Oh, they forgot about the A-Kargan Warleader ward, chat. Got him. I think it's time to start crunching before they can Meat Hook us. Yeah, I boarded out my malls because I didn't want to be equipment flooded, but definitely feeling that decision here. I think we slide plate armor over onto our menace creature here. Gets menace when it becomes equipped. The large lad shit. Yeah, I was a little surprised I didn't jump with Edgar as well. Just get that jump blocking army building up. We'll go ahead and we'll plus Nahiri this turn, which lets us -2 her again the following turn. Nah, I think if you're worried about board stalls, you just leave the mall this guy claims in my little tutorial. But honestly, like, I know we're a little stalled at the moment, but we're winning this, right? Like, we have a menace creature and a double striker, we're gonna cut through their board. And like, our Nahiri is currently plussing to make 3/3s. Oh yeah, I boarded out my tramp. I boarded out all my board breakers. Yeah, the two. I forgot the 2-drop 3/1 also gives trample. I probably shouldn't. I'm almost assuredly boarded incorrectly here, chat. We do have copies of the draft guide in our deck currently. Yeah, the A-Kargan Intimidator giving, like, you know, our double striker trample would be huge game. Chat, it's hard to know if my opponent is salty or if, like, their toddler needed attention or their doorbell rang or their pizza was burning. Like, don't attribute malice. You don't know our opponent's lives. They timed out their chat. Thanks for the follow, Kura. So, I think we were likely winning this game. A little bit of an unfortunate end, but is what it is. Put them to timeout here now. At the risk of starting an economy conversation while we're waiting, apparently with the explosion of Pioneer with the Pro Tour announcement, Den of the Bugbear now costs $72 a copy on Magic Online. Which is kind of hilarious. Yeah, that's not a paper price. I believe it's cheaper in paper. But it's, yeah, it's funny. Yeah, Pioneer looks great. I really hope we get the Pioneer adjacent format. Den of the Bugbear is a rare. I really hope we get the Pioneer adjacent format on Magic Arena sometime soon. I would love to have a second non-rotating format to play on this platform. I just can't do Moto, chat. I just can't. No joke, I even opened the Magic Online download page the other day, and I, stared at it for 30 seconds before I just, closed it and went back to doing other things. We legitimately thought about it for a hot second, and then the feeling passed like bad gas. gonna be greedy here, and I'm gonna bottom a land and keep 2, 3, 4. This board was added in yesterday's patch. It's really sweet. Perfect. Yeah, part of the reason why Magic the Gathering Online cards are expensive is because Magic Arena cannibalized a lot of the players that draft. Yeah, this is the challenge, chat. We beat Black-White Ventures, but they're not the best deck, chat. The question is, can my deck full of creatures beat Molten Impacts and Meat Hooks and all these other 2-for-1s? Untapped lands. Nailed it. If we're gonna have a chance to beat a bunch of 2-for-1s, it starts with this.
I must regain the power I've lost over the centuries.
Molten Impact would imply they are more of a mid-range deck than a control deck, or than an anvil deck. Cletus helps fix their colors and ramps them into casting Invoke Despair sooner. Yeah, the Nahiri buff seems good. Drawing 2 cards on the minus is sweet. God, Molten Impact hits Planeswalkers too.
Forever.
I don't know that Aquatail is bad. My video this morning I posted with Aquatail. I don't think we know which moves are ideal on it yet, Trunk Owl. Hearing costs 4 mana and drew 2 cards, almost gonna show it. Yeah, I think sadly, even with the buff, there's a very good chance that here is just worse than Showdown. Maybe they'll just die to Lizard Blades, chat. That would be nice. Wouldn't complain about that. Yeah, I've heard some people say they think Aquatail is ideal. I don't know. I kind of like the Whirlpool. I played a bit of it. Can you expect a new Unite tier list in a few days? Yeah, probably like Monday or Tuesday next week. I don't know how much I'm gonna be able to play over the weekend. I don't know. So like, a lot of like the 1-drops people are suggesting after like playing games like this are the reason why I don't have a lot of 1-drops in my deck, chat, because having a bunch of individually weak cards when my opponent is like 2-for-1ing and 3-for-1ing me is not a good way to try and win a game of Magic. Right? Like, I'm actually just like getting completely dismantled here. And it's not like, we did mulligan to 5 this game, but it's not like my draw was bad either, right? Like, we've played on curve every single time. Yeah, I mean, Molten Impact is just as big of an issue for creature decks in this format as Meat Hook is. Like I said, I was shocked that this last balance patch didn't come with any nerfs. I think all the buffs they did were good, but it doesn't really feel like any of them are enough to make you competitive into the good decks in this format. Showdowns come in. I think I'm supposed to cut Mauls in these grindy matchups, which honestly might mean that Maul's just not a card I'm supposed to be playing. Maybe these Mauls should just be 4 main deck Showdowns. Is very possible. Maybe we'll try that. Guardian of Faith helps protect us from Meat Hook. Hey, Anoma, thanks for the 16 months. Howdy, howdy. Yeah, definitely a Guardian matchup, for sure. I am inclined to agree with you, Omega, that I think they would prefer not to nerf things. I also think that it's probably a little bit too early in general to assume too much. Like, one thing, for example, is that we don't really know how far in advance they're locking in the balance changes that they're making. And like all the buffs that they did, it's really easy to lock those in advance because you can look at the format and go, none of these cards see play, we should make them better. Whereas like nerfs, you have to be more reactive to, right? Nah, I think that's bullshit, Violet Journey. At the risk of making Riot Games upset with me, their line of they have to lock in changes 2 weeks in advance for what's it called, Runeterra changes is nonsense. I would believe that it takes more money and resources to not lock things in 2 weeks, like to rush changes to production. But like even Riot Games has quicker patches than that with things like TFT. It's gonna attack them for 4 here, I think. I don't understand what you're suggesting, European man. Or 2 mana removal spell for Lizard Blades. Alright, here's Showdown. Reflection of the Kiki with no removal insight for us is pretty scary. It is not snowing near me yet, but we're supposed to be getting snow later today, Beetle. And for people that think that's weird, by the way, mine and Christy's wedding anniversary is in 11 days, and it snowed on our wedding day. All right, so now I have to decide, do I want an Nahiri to kill the Reflection of the Kiki before it can activate? Probably need to, right? Because if they start flashing things back with copies of this, it's real bad for us. So I have to choose which of these I'm not going to get another copy of. I think I'd rather have the Lizard Blades. And then I guess the awkward part is here, if they have a 2-mana removal spell, they actually stop us from killing the Reflection, but I think I have to kill it, otherwise we're just gonna get buried.
I am Zendikar's one true guardian.
Definitely feels like the theme of this format so far. Our games feel close and interesting against not red-black decks, and against red-black decks, it feels like our deck isn't very competitive or good. Maybe I want to keep the Legion Angels, actually. Got the Showdowns from the board. I could put another portable hole in there. Just a couple of breeds. But the thing about a card like Sagiria Shelter 10 General is that even just look at that last game that we played, right? Go back through the turns we played in that game and ask yourself how many of those turns could we afford to pass holding up 2 mana to potentially be able to protect something? And the answer is not many, possibly not any at all. Like holding up a 2 mana protection spell is not free. random warrior card, friend. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Zony. Rack dosing shall continue until morale improves, chap. Oh, look at that! Their 2-mana divination also killed my creature. Enjoy your warrior cards, opponent.
I must calm the anger that dwells within.
Yes, Dingazone, we're gonna be playing viewer 5-stack so I can play a Zoomeril every match. I remember when this was a diaper changing stream, and now I have a new appreciation for you after changing diapers of my own. I timed out on Moto because my son had a blowout. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes it's not a diaper change so much as it's a take a shower and have an outfit change. Sometimes it do be like that. Well, at least we didn't full brick, I guess, but it would have been nice to hit 2 lands with those.
We will survive this crisis.
No, nothing lined up in Advanced 10 General. We're just gonna open lobby it. Yeah, Zoomeril released last night. Had a highlight video with it post this morning. I think for the lobbies today, I'm gonna give subs preference since it's the second day we're doing it this week. So for people that are interested in playing, if you're a sub, make sure you're in the subs Discord server. And I'll post the lobby codes in there before we show them public.
Perhaps I was too harsh.
I played it solo top last night in a 5-stack and it felt okay there. I'm gonna play it central area this afternoon. Missing a land drop here is pretty brutal. I don't know. As someone who plays a lot of Aegislash and thinks that character is really good, all the people writing off Azumarill already, I think they're premature. People want easy answers, and every time they release a character that's not like Duraludon, people are gonna call it unplayable, because that's how humans are. They're lazy. I mean, Aegislash is much better. That's not what everybody thought a day after it released. After you link them, you need to also explicitly join the server, Cedrus. It should show you a list of servers that are linked to your Twitch account. If you have any other subs. What do I want to discard here? It might be one of my 4-mana plays, honestly. Just have so many of them. Maybe we just discard this. Just, like, continue to grind. Hey, thanks for putting your Prime to use here, Sightseer. Appreciate it. Okay. Stop killing my stuff. We have a grip of cards, soon to be less. We have to kill a Reflection of the Kikijiki here, otherwise it gets to start copying City Stalker Connoisseurs.
The solution lies in stone. I can work with that.
Yes, actually every card they've played other than spot removal has been a 2-for-1.
If I'm gone, you'll lose.
The fact that almost none of their 2-for-1s involve playing to the board is a pretty big feel bad. Like they're just like if you don't have counter spells or discard spells, you actually can't meaningfully interact with any of their 2-for-1s. Untapped doesn't really have good alchemy data because the format's not super popular. Their sample sizes are pretty bad and small, last I checked. I don't even know. I've kind of set up our main deck to be the best it can be in this matchup game one. I don't really have any changes I could meaningfully make here, right? Like, playing, like, spot removal of our own doesn't really help us fight what they have going on. I guess, like, Skyclave is kind of okay against Reflection of the Kiki, but, like, that's it. A-Dwarfhold Champion doesn't die to a 2-mana removal spell this turn, at least. Alright, got that going for us. Yeah, opponent decks like what our current opponent is playing is the tier 0 of. They're the tier 0 of the format, not close. Like here, right? Like Molten Impact is. I guess this lets us dodge Molten Impact. Thanks for the 39 months, Red Link, and thanks for the tier 2. Howdy, howdy. Tomb Raider's been sick in the mornings. I don't know. I think this deck might be a bit of a wash. I'll offer this trade since this just dies to Molten Impact anyways. There's no way they take 9 here, right? Alright. I guess they just like have a removal spell for Dwarfhold Champion. Okay, well, this insulates us against Meathook next turn at least. And if they spot remove, we have Lizard Blades left over. None of those cards in their graveyard help them. Oh, the plate armor. The plate armor costs 1 less from this. Got it. That's the new text they put on this, right? You just started playing Magic yesterday. I'm so sorry for your wallet, Kelly. Welcome to the game. take in game actions, chat. Scale of 1 to dead. Where you at, opponent? Hey, Hearn Cute, thanks for the 3 years. Happy Friday. Hope your weekend's off to a good start. So this has Ward 2, this has Ward 1. Okay. The way that game played out makes me think that if this deck is going to be successful in this format, this top end is probably a trap. I think regardless of the outcome of this next game, I want to reconfigure our deck to play a bunch of 1-drops, I think. I think that's probably going to be more successful. Just be a lower to the ground plate armor deck, basically. Well, we're not an aggro deck yet. This deck as constructed is an aggressively slanted mid-range deck. Is the TLDR. The 1-drop that makes copies of itself is gas. I would be genuinely surprised if that was an accurate statement, but I am willing to entertain playing a couple copies of it. My gut says I want to play a bunch of 1-drop warriors, so that way this can power them up. Yeah, Fireblade Charger is definitely getting played. That's for sure. Yeah, I think this card's just not good shit. Or more specifically, I think she's probably just worse than Showdown, right? I think I want some Showdowns at the top end. Alright, show me 1-mana warriors. Oh, Usher's a 1-mana warrior. Card's pretty good. Well, so that's what I'm reassessing, Beck. So the way I constructed this deck initially, we had a bunch of 2-for-1s at the top end, but it doesn't really feel like we can meaningfully grind against the red-black deck. So I think leaning into this card advantage at the top end of our curve is an incorrect way to approach that matchup. I think we're supposed to just be lower to the ground and be hoping to punt them out. Oh yeah, this makes more warriors too. Yeah, that's true. You want to just play Wedding Announcement? Yeah, I could see that, honestly. That could be a better piece of top end than Showdown. Maybe we like play a couple of Showdowns on the board for when we want to pull up a little bit. Because then if we cut all of our 4s, we could probably trim a land here as well. The Forsaken Crossroads are less good if we're playing 1-drops. I mean, I think 8 3-drops is enough for our deck. Yeah, base camped is untapped on warriors. Now, you technically play Courtyard too, but that might be too many. Oh. I think Veteran is worse than Intimidator. It's close though. What's the third most playable 1-drop warrior? If I wanted a 9th 1-drop. Just like Pit Fighter. It's like a 2-1, 2-1 for 1. Even be something like this. I think I like the look of this better. Eight, 9, 10, 11, 12 warrior, 12 white sources for this and this. I need slightly more white. This is 14 red, but I actually don't have any non-warrior red, so I think we just go down here and go up a plains. This is 9, 13 untapped red on 1. This is 10, 14 untapped white on 1. Lizard Blades is a non-warrior. Ooh, that's true. That's true. Okay, so the creature type land is the creature type land strictly better than base camp in this deck? It is, right? Because in a pinch, I could name Lizard and make red mana with it. Let's do that. Well, I mean, we're not playing base camp is a card that's intended to be played in a party deck, QBE. So like we're gonna play a party deck after this that base camp will probably be reasonable in. This very much what we are playing is not a party deck. Right on time, Fireblade Charger, welcome to the party. I expect most of our opponents to be playing red-black today, chat. This current format, chat, feels a lot like I wished for mid-range to be playable on my monkey paw. Like, Hogland wants a format where mid-range is playable. You shall have it, and it shall be overbearing. Yes, there is also a qualifier weekend today, or qualifier event this weekend. Please stop. Please. Please stop. Please stop. That's because a control deck can't really contest what this Rakdos deck is doing, chat, because it's a deck that doesn't play to the board, right? Like, control decks largely accrue card advantage through things like sweepers, and sweepers don't catch you up against what this red-black deck is doing. Deal? Thank you. So you're saying there's a chance, huh? To be fair, chat, our opponent not being aware of constructed staple Fireblade Charger is not that unexpected. Oh my gosh. Are they still dead? I think they're still dead, right? Because the Den of the Bugbear, they block it, they take 6 from the tokens. I mean, to be fair, that game, we accomplished what we changed our deck to try and do, right? We said, okay, we want to not grind against the Rakdos deck. We want to attack them a bunch. And we got to attack them a bunch. I want to bring in a couple of showdowns here. I think we're going to trim the Arms Scavengers. Maybe we trim the Intimidators, actually. Because the Scavenger can also grind a little bit in a pinch. Let's try this. So I can't actually cast the plate armor in this hand right now, but does that matter? I think I'm gonna mulligan. I want a 1-drop. I think I'm gonna let the no 1-drop be the tiebreaker in that last hand. Obviously, this hand also doesn't have a 1-drop, but I'm not about to mulligan to 5 against the Mind Rot deck. Lark this. I larked this. I totally missed your resub. I don't know what we were doing. Maybe we were caught in deck building, but thank you for the 31 months 12 minutes ago. Glad you're enjoying your work from home if you're still here. I apologize. I'm glad we drew this, because, like, I literally just couldn't play this out into a multi-impact for 3, right? Do we just Showdown? To again keep playing around this? That feels wrong, right? Because I want to be able to play 2 lands with it. I think I just, like, play these and accept that the Intimidator is gonna die. Yeah, I think I just need to double spell. Twitch app on the Switch works so well. It's nice to have. Because my crappy Samsung Smart TV doesn't have a real Twitch app, so I use it on the Switch now. It's nice. It works well. It's a good Switch. Is a good little potato. We just taught a lot of people that there's a Twitch app for the Nintendo Switch. What does this have haste from? Why is it blue? Oh, it's haste if it's equipped. Got it. Chat, I'm a Magic player. I've never read this card. Y'all making fun of our last opponent for not reading, or this opponent for not reading. I've never read this card either. It's fine. It didn't matter. We were dead regardless. 5 points was irrelevant. It's basically flavor text. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, don't act like you've read that card before, Chad. I know you can't read. My body is ready to get meat hooked for one shit. My mind isn't, but my body is. My body would prefer no meat hooks anywhere near it, please. Well, you know. I guess I could have made this a coward. Maybe that was better, that I just don't attack with the human. That could have been better. And now we're in an okay spot. I guess I was gonna say, unless they meat hook again, but I guess even if they meat hook again, I still have Den of the Bugbear to fire up, huh? Yeah, the wedding festivities with Den of the Bugbear is like pretty solid coffees for closers. Okay. It's a good, feels good to be able to identify what was happening in a match and be able to adjust our deck to fix it accordingly. I think trying to go over the top or grind out these red-black decks is a pretty big fool's errand, and if you want to be doing something else in the format, you need to be getting under them. Hopefully we get a non-red-black matchup. Yeah, maybe. Bam, bam. Come on, Untapped point source. Rats. Layer of the Hydra. They're green, da ba dee da ba die, da ba dee da ba die, da ba dee da ba die. Hi, hi, hi. Wish too hard for a non-red-black matchup. The monkey paw cues you into Divine Purge. Oh no. Purge the non-believers. So that 33 months moo is. Good morning. Ooh. Our warriors are ready to come out and play, Chip. Listen, shit. Dojo. Our dojo doesn't contain fear, okay? Seem to be getting out diagonaled? No? I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure we're ahead. Our dojo contains regret, but never fear. Mood. Yeah, so there is a Baldur's Gate themed commander product releasing over the summer for paper. And we will be getting cards from that in a direct to Alchemy expansion on Magic Arena, I believe. That's my understanding. Okay, how reactive do we want to be on the draw? I feel like the answer is relatively reactive. Is 8 removal too many? Maybe wedding announcement is a hard time getting set up on the draw. Let's try that. Yeah, that's busted shit. I can't portable hold their 2-drop. That's cheating. Man, there's some high variance gameplay. Oh my gosh, and they get to Liberator it back and then play it out again? Holy crap, this curve. Good God. We're actually just dead, right? Yeah. All right. Good chat. We'll take game 3 on the play. Thanks. Maybe portable hold's actually not very good here. I'll put the Pit Fighters and my wedding announcements back in on the play. Let's do that. Boy, you weren't kidding about farming red-black with this mono-green deck. Your tap dot says you're 15-1 in the mono in the red-black matchup. It's kind of unreal. Are you a bad person for wanting Ensnaring Bridge and Historic? Objectively, yes. Start attacking them here. Press. I guess I should have double blocked. Green deck looked pretty good. We had enough mana to equip the hammer next turn with the Arms Scavenger static text, but we were just taking such a big hit. We were too far behind for that to be relevant. One big creature wasn't going to save us. Let's do one more with warriors here, and then we'll flip on over to party time, I think. Warriors, come out and play. Nice, nice, he said to himself before getting Meat Hook massacred. Crush, 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 do, boo, do. Yeah, Meat Hook even makes the Charger not deal damage. Such a beating. Yeah, definitely, Lacarp. You can wait until the full spoiler is out to submit a specific deck, or you can submit a builder on submission whenever you'd like. Nah, that's Paramore, Thomas. My daughter's name may or may not have musical inspiration behind it.
Violence is necessary. You fight for me now.
Not loving that they still have 3 cards in hand. Yeah, mood. Okay.
I won't let this be over.
In a strange turn of events, it does not feel like my creature deck is going to beat Meat Hook Massacre. Alright, let's try party time, chat. I'm pretty over this archetype. They weren't splashing a color. Their white land was drawn off of our deck with their Undercity. To set an incredibly low bar, this deck performed better than Elves did for us. But at the same time, the initial assumption that creature decks don't really seem to be playable into a field full of Molten, whatever they're called, and 2-mana draw 2s and Meat Hook Massacres definitely seems to be the case. Playing creature decks in this format seems to be kind of a fool's errand. Which naturally leads us to, let's load up another small creature deck and continue pounding our head into the wall.